Hi there, wonderful awakening beings and spiritual souls. Jo Rose at jorose.com, numerologist and energy forecaster. And in this video, I'm sharing with you the numerology forecast for February 2025. But before I do, let's recap what 2025 has in store for us. It's a 9 energy. How do we know this? By adding together and reducing down all the digits of the current year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. 9 is the last number in the epicycle. So we are bringing things to a close, to an end. And some of the traits I'm going to share in this particular video based around the 9 are as follows. On the empowering side, it is amenable, charitable, considerate, forgiving. Remember I said to you, this year will be about forgiveness, and that even starts with forgiving the self. The 9 is helpful, hospitable, impartial, it's kind, sensitive, supportive, it's filled with tenderness. It's the number of universal love. It's warm. The flip side, because there's always a flip side, is the 9 can be anxious, bitter. Opposite to warm, it can be cold, cruel, heartless, jealous, narcissistic, possessive, spiteful, unforgiving, and volatile. In my videos, I share the two sides. Where are you at the moment? Where are people around you at the moment? If you are not vibrating in the higher vibration, then take a look at the lower vibrations and see what you need to do. Obviously, if you're being very cold, what can you do to become warm? If you're being unforgiving, where do you start forgiving? People, and I mention people at the moment because this month, February, we're in a 2 energy and it will be about relationships, your connection with people. But this month, people, look at the messages they bring. The lesson I want to share based around the 9 is don't shoot the messenger, focus on the message. All too often, we see the person, feel the person delivering the message, and whatever energetic feelings we have based around that person prevents the message coming forward. It's not about being defensive. It's about hearing the message that is neither good nor bad, just a message. And understanding that acceptance is the doorway to transformation. The 9 is about transformation. It's time to wake up, to end the trance, to transcend, to transcend. Now, I had many things I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm in that 5 energy again. And while I've improved on the 5 that I experienced in November, I am still dealing with expect the unexpected. I'm a lot more grounded. I'm in a 4-year. I have a grounding mat. So I'm a lot more grounded than when I was in my 3-year where I was scattered. But before putting this video together, I received feedback on my health and I was really hoping that there would be some results that brought a solution. But you know what? Guess what? Not. And my GP delivered this information. Now, I've just said, do not shoot the messenger. I was really calm receiving it. Things were running through my head. How can one set of data be the opposite of another set of data that use my body for the results? In my last couple of videos, I have said to you, do not look externally for a savior. You need to go internally within. You are your own savior. If the medical profession, the medical system cannot give me a result, and I'm challenged at the moment because I've moved, I really need to change my GP practice, but I've stayed there because we wanted to get these results. I was refused by the consultants that the doctor had put me forward to, and now we're going to go down a different route. He's about to retire. I'm on my own if this doesn't all go ahead. But am I on my own? I'm always in a relationship, and I'm in a relationship with Source, as are you. And we need to connect with Source more than anything. Before I get into February, I'd like you to go back and really think about some of the things I said in my January video. And if you haven't watched the January video, please do go and watch it, because I talk about the 9 stages of setting a goal. I mentioned that we have right now, for the last time until 2031, I think it is, before we get another full-on epicycle that we can work to. So we're building on the numbers. So last month, January, was a 1 energy. Wow, so many new things. Trump got sworn in. In less than 1 week, he signed 350 EOs. So many made sense to me. So many resonated and felt right. But not all of them did. You cannot rely on one person for all of your information. Get a second opinion. Take time out. Step back. Connect with source. One of the things that Trump brought in or mentioned was $500 billion for the AI mRNA infrastructure. And he also had at the inauguration a number of people that have been silencing us. This does not make sense unless Trump is bringing it all front and center for us to not take everything we are narrated by a leader, by the mainstream media, by others, and we use our critical thinking. I'm really not for AI, and everybody's pushing it forward in all avenues and all aspects. When my children were younger and they loved those scan and goes, I said people are going to lose a job. And then I moved to a new location. It was winter and I couldn't really use my, in this country we called it an A to Z map book, when my children had new friends and I didn't know the area, that I got a sat nav. And then the sat nav broke and I still couldn't work my way around. Or even now when the sat nav is in the car connected to it and there's no signal, again, I don't know where I'm going. I have a car now that has not just parking sensors, but cameras so I can see where I'm going. I refuse to use the cameras just in case there's a time when I can't and I've forgotten how to park. I can remember a time then we stored all our friends and family's telephone numbers in our head. We kept information within us, but we're downloading constantly to our phones. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's probably the same with healing the body. What have we come away from? And my research has been really interesting, because if you recall last year, I shared about my autoimmune challenges. I didn't know till recently that one of them, Hashimoto's, can lead to osteoporosis. Was never made aware of this. I was fobbed off with many other labels in the autoimmune section. But this has caused me to research and go back to my thyroid. We've heard over the scamdemic about ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, colloidal silver, or there's one that we can't get in this country and I can't think, MSM or something. All of these can eradicate the diseases, the diseases that are in our body. So what is not happening? We are not building a relationship with our body. There's a high chance that the majority of our problems, our health issues, are parasite or heavy metals. So perhaps my GP that delivered the message was telling me, hold back, Joe, look at another way forward. And the way the medical health system is set up, that's not the way they're going to heal me, because we all know that sick people make money. And what's really interesting right now, as I am creating this video, RFK Jr. is going before the committee. You may think that RFK Jr. is just about America, but it's not. It's about the health across the world. One of the things he wants to do is to stop the chemtrails. Well, if we've got heavy toxins in our body, what are they spraying in the air? So much is stacked against us. But what I've learned is when we come together, we are stronger than the system. And 9 is about it crumbling, the old falling away. So plenty of new things are going on, but it's the new things to end the old things. Well, in February being the second month, and if we add that to the energy of the 9 of the current year, we arrive at 11. Now, 11 reduced down is a 2, but because it's a master number, we're going to look at it from both aspects. Do you know my very first forecast video I did was the forecast for 2018, which was an 11-2 vibration. I went back and listened to that, and even back then in 2018 to today, it still makes so much sense. So I really recommend that you actually take some time out also to go and watch that video, and I will leave the link in the description below. Now, the 11 energy is alluring, appealing. It's bright, charismatic, conscientious, diplomatic, gracious, illuminating, intuitive, magnetic. It's the negotiator. Let's see what Trump is going to be negotiating. It's the peacemaker, resourceful, spiritual, supportive, unified, uplifting, and warm. So we've got 2 warm vibrations there in the 9 and the 11. They're both highly intuitive and supportive. The 9 is the universal love. The 11 would be the unconditional love, because the 2 is about love in the relationship. The flip side of this vibration is it could be abrupt, afraid. I mean, we don't know where we're going. We don't know what's happening, and everything has felt so often wrong. Making change can be scary. It can be bitter, conniving, and corrupt, critical, doubtful, fearful. That's why you need to go in and connect with source energy. It's the outer world bringing these fears in. The inner world wouldn't bring these fears in. It can be hesitant. Of course, you don't know where you're going, what's going on. The system is crumbling, as I said. Feelings of insecurity. Any number with the 2 will bring up jealousy. I've already mentioned jealousy in the 9. If someone else can have it, so can you. I don't mean the exact same pair of shoes or the exact same partner. There's no point in being jealous. It's somebody else's life, and unless you've stepped in their shoes, you can't judge it. These traits are disempowering. We need to release these states in preparation for 2026 when we usher in the new epicycle. The 11 can be about the martyr. It's pessimistic. And on the other side, it can be the preacher. You might think I preach in these videos. And maybe to some extent, yes, I do when I go over the similar things again. But I honestly am doing it from a place to elevate and uplift. So looking at the lesson for the 11-2 vibration, live with honesty and integrity. Be the true you. Be honest with what you say. Be kind if it's going to be some information if the other person isn't ready to receive. The 2 and the 11 are about kindness. The 9 is about kindness. Sandwich what you want to share. Secrets aren't good. Recently, one of my children shared with me that their friend is about to have chemo. Well, they've started it now. But we was in the car when he said to me, after I said a number of things, and he said, I'm not going to tell you, Mum, whether I have or have not had the jab or boosters. Now, I have shared endless pieces of information with my children, and the only thing I've ever asked them to really consider was this. Overnight, I thought about this conversation, and I totally get it's his choice whether he tells me or not. But knowing this was my son, I felt I needed to be open and honest and say something to him, that while it is his choice, I feel more hurt that he's not being transparent. You know what? If you've had the jab, own up to it. That was your choice. And if you haven't, own up to it. It was your choice. But if we're not honest and truthful with our partner or our children or those we care about, mistrust appears. Where are you holding back in your relationships? Love and trust are a marriage of the highest vibration. Now, as I said, 2 is the base number of 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 seeks harmony, diplomacy, support, cooperation. A 2 often wants to stop the pain, prevent discomfort. So it often interferes, meddles, or enables, assists. Why is that? Because the 2 wants to be liked. It wants to be a part of something, because it's not the 1 on its own. It's 2. It's at least a pair. This month, observe, but do not absorb. It's a month of patience and observation. The 2 can be about codependency. What do you depend on? Me, I was depending on my doctor coming back with some information. Fat lot of good that did for me. Who depends on you? Are you doing too much for someone else that they are not learning the skills to do it for themselves? Your relationships need to be balanced. Your life needs to be balanced. It's okay to swing one way or the other, but you need to come back into balance. In the tarot, the 11th card is justice. We look at this and we see fairness, truth, and balance, equality, cause and effect. Good justice is objective. It sees both sides. It's interesting watching the RFK committee question RFK. The questioning seems very unbalanced. Also taking place right now is Kash Patel's hearing. What we are watching play out right now is the justice system not serving the people. Sometimes when we're in a relationship and it's gone a little bit stale, we can feel some injustice. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about finding a win-win. In most cases, unless there is physical or verbal abuse, whether that be from the person or the substance that they are using, taking, then that is a relationship that you need to walk away from for your own sanity, and if you have children, for theirs. How many times can you forgive someone? The more you forgive them, the less chance they have of changing. That's enabling. And why are you staying in the relationship if it keeps recurring? This month, as I said, it's about the relationships, it's about partnerships, it's about cooperation, connection, and harmony. Take time out to listen, feel the other person, and acknowledge where they are. This is not something you need to fix. When I got these calls from my doctor, I just shared with my friends. They didn't offer me a solution, they offered me ears. Most times, all we want to do is be heard. There are some great books out there on relationships. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, The 5 Love Languages. If you're in a personal year too, perhaps these books could be well worth purchasing. Now, as I said, the 11 in the tarot is about justice, fairness. But what is fair for you may not be fair for another. We all have a different perspective. This is where open communication, honest communication comes into play. When you're up against something that feels unjust, what is your role? What are you expecting from the outcome? Are you dependent, codependent on the result of someone else? What is your fear in the situation? How involved are you emotionally? Can you see the wood for the trees? Could the situation be dealt with differently? Differently could be to get out of the home, to meet on neutral grounds, to have some form of counsellor, mediator work with you. It could be, as in Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, to do the love letter and response letter. Know what you want your outcome to be. All too often we get into the pain and we rant and we don't get a solution, just more hurt. Or one person might feel they'll give a hug and the hug is like a band-aid, but it comes back again. 9 is about letting go, not suppressing it, but letting it go. And the biggest question is, if you're in a relationship, where are you both heading? In the same direction or different directions? What is it costing you to stay together? And I don't necessarily mean financially. I mean spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. It's about taking responsibility. Back in 2022, in that sixth energy, I shared the year was about responsibility or sacrifice. You are responsible for you. You are responsible for your role in a relationship. It's time to really acknowledge the responsibility, because that's the first step in moving forward. Why is it easier for someone else outside the relationship to find the answers, the solutions, the directions? It's because they're not hurt, they're not emotionally attached to the outcome. If you are overly emotional, overly sensitive at the moment of the connection, communication, disruption, disconnection, step back and reflect. What do you really want? What would benefit you and those concerned? That's what you need to be focusing on. And within all of this, who are you playing? The adult you right now? High chance that's not the case. The teenage you? The child you? The in vitro you? Chances are it's one of those three. Ever since Liam Payne passed, I have been following various people, informations, insights on him. In a video he shared about his own life, that you leave the music industry or the band where you joined it. And for Liam, when he first appeared on The X Factor, he was 14 years old. That was the beginning of his journey to One Direction. So he remained 14 in a lot of his behaviour. Why am I sharing this? Because it's the same with relationships. Many of us meet our partner, we get married youngish, have a family, things fall apart, and we find we're out there on the dating scene again. But when did we last date? What age were we? That's where we come from, but that's not where we're at. You cannot love another till you love yourself. It's hard to forgive another till you forgive yourself. Liam Payne also said, while he was rebellious and looking externally for the answers, he come to realise that he needed to go within. And with relationships, we are in the relationship where the biggest part of us or the oldest part of us played out. So often parents continue to treat the children as a child. Siblings treat their siblings as teenagers. And adult children see their parents as either the saviour or the invader. Think about it. Every time you go back home, what happens? Every time you meet up with your brothers and sisters, what happens? Every time your parent offers you some information or advice, what happens? Feel those emotions, because that's where the triggers lie. And they are the triggers that you have taken forward into your current relationships. As a soul, we are whole and complete. We have come here for a human experience. And it is the relationships that reflect back what we have chosen to learn. Within our numerology, we can see what we've chosen to learn. It's in the life path number. As a soul, we're whole and complete, and we would do well to remember at a soul level, we are all part of the All Club. We are a member, so we need to remember our soul contract, our soul connection. This month, take a look at what's going on in your life, in your relationships. In 2025, we have the 9 energy. Release, let go, transcend to transcend. The 9 suggests we deal with family issues. It's the family issues that are the triggers in your relationships. We often marry our opposing gendered parent. A woman marries a father, a son marries a mother. Why? Unfinished business. We want to get the connection we sought with that parent. Or if it was so good, we want to replicate it. Often, we want it to enact out the relationship we never had. Another situation is we may marry the same sex of energy because it's the feminine or the masculine energy we either want to repeat, do better, or correct, depending on what we've experienced growing up. 11 is the number of illumination. And in a year of letting go, literally everything that needs to be let go of for you, for all of us, will appear as if on a big screen, illuminated up there for all to see. It's a lot to take in when it is relationships. So luckily, we're in a slow month. Observe, but do not absorb. If within your relationship you are struggling or pushing, you and your partner are out of flow, take some time out. Spend some time together. Talk about the things that are no longer serving each of you. Work out how you can let them go and how you can support each other in doing so. Not all relationships have a strong essence of love. All too often we're in it and we pretend to love for the sake of staying together, for the sake of having a house over our head. That is because we are fearful of losing something. But what if the loss of that something leads you on to the gain of something else? As I mentioned in my previous video, until you close the old doors, the new doors of opportunity cannot open. Being in a relationship that doesn't serve your well-being is no good for anyone. A poor well-being does not allow you to be present. Not being present has you in the past or the future, fear or anxiety, and you will be stuck in fear or anxiety until you take responsibility in the present moment. What do you need to let go of? Be present this month with this nice, slow, calm, harmonious, diplomatic energy. Bring yourself back into alignment. Balance yourself. The month of 2, you have 2 ears to listen, 2 hands, the right to give and the left to receive. Balance it. Balance yes and no. You have 2 hemispheres of the brain, the logical and the creative. Cross the bridge. Bring them together. That's 2 perspectives to work on one challenge. You have 2 forms of seeing, through the eye and through the third eye. When you are triggered, what emotion comes up for you? Chances are it's either going to be fear, anger, or grief/sadness. Where in your childhood has that happened? Going back to our feelings is like going back home. When a baby is born, it's emotion. It cries, it laughs, it coos, it gets attention. That's why we cry, we laugh, we coo. We get attention. As time progresses, we begin to learn words, the mental. We get something quicker when we can say the word. What we focus on at that point matters. The first word we often learn is mum. Mum. Mum or mother matters. Did you know in Latin, mother is spelt matter? They're the same. I wonder if that's why we call our best friends or our good friends our mates, because they matter. So we get things brought to us because now we can ask for them. And then we learn to crawl and walk and we can get things for ourselves. That's the physical aspect. To get back to the beginning where it is emotionally connection and back to source, we have to go back to our feelings and emotions. And when I work with people and they think, or quote the narrative, I bring them back to what do they feel. The emotions are in the heart. Home is where the heart is. Whilst the brain, the spine, and the nerves grow as one, the heart is separate. The heart is where love and consciousness comes in. When a baby is conceived, it's a number of cells that multiply. The heart comes in around about week 6, week 8. That's when the soul is connected. It's at this point in the womb that we begin to feel the vibration of the mother. The mother has so much influence on us because the mother matters. And because the mother matters, I am so grateful for Trump signing the executive order bringing back that there are only 2 genders, man and womb man. Our body isn't just the physical. We are made up of 4 energetic bodies: the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, and the physical. To stop repeating the patterns, we have to work back through the physical, the mental, the emotional, and back to the heart, back home, back to source, back to consciousness. To stop repeating the patterns, to find space and time this month, meditate. Find a position, the physical. Sit up. Put your hands where they feel right, whether they're in this kind of position, whether they're on your lap, on your knees, facing up. It's your choice. But find a way that you feel comfortable, the physical aspect. And then we move to the mental. So we want a mantra. Where do we want to get? We want to get back to the beginning. We want to go home. Is that why the sound is Om? Om. In Latin, domum is home. I have to chuckle. Om and mum are in the word. While we say the Om, while we return home, we enter the heart. Feel the vibration of the Om, Hum, and do this until you feel calm and silent. And I'm telling you, you will feel love. It's at this point of the meditation your answers will come forth. Have you ever cried so much that you can't cry anymore and there's a silence? And all of a sudden you get a aha, a download. This practice of finding your place, going Om, focusing on the heart, you will reconnect to source. If nothing else, it will calm you down for the rest of your day. In this place, when you've gone back to source, you will find your solution, or more to the point, your soul evolution. Sometimes I ask myself, why words are solution, Trance-END, human beings? As Liam Payne said, go inwards for the answers, your solutions. Now the 9, 11 and 2 energy are intuitive, insightful, inspirational. They all begin within because they are inwards. Let the light shine. The word light is interesting. We can be light as we shine bright, bigger, bolder, brighter and better. Or we can be light as in we are not heavy. We've released the baggage. Chances are we'll lose weight at the same time. 2 is a gentle vibration. Be gentle with yourself and be gentle with others. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Hug yourself, hug others, if they're open to it. I've already mentioned my video of 11.2 from 2018. Another really valuable video would be to go and watch my video on self-partnership. As I said, we cannot love another till we love ourselves. We cannot forgive another till we forgive ourselves. And if you're constantly looking for the answers in others, they're just a reflection. The answer's in the self. Your answer. That is it. You must ask better questions. It's your answer you are seeking. Face the reality of your situation. Pull off the band-aid or stop putting the band-aids on. Stop attempting to fix, but solve internally from yourself. Find the cause of your discomfort, your disconnect, your dis-ease. And chances are you'll benefit in more ways than you can imagine. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Release what's holding you back and relax into your new inner standing. I hope you found this video beneficial. I often teach what I need to learn, and I needed to learn how to deal with the information I got back with regarding my health. Remember, do not shoot the messenger, focus on the message. The message can come from another, it can come from something you hear, something you read, or it can come from source, from within. Have an amazing February. Happy Valentine's to all of those. And remember, it's your life, spelled L-Y-F-E. Love yourself first every day. Every morning you wake up, tell yourself you're in an amazing relationship with yourself. Give yourself a hug. Say your name, I love you. Look in the mirror, look in your eyes. Be grateful you woke up. Be grateful you're alive. You've been given another day to soul evolution. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please do, and push that bell for notification. And share my videos. Share some things you're going on. Share some things you would like me to look into. Hopefully I will be getting myself more organized. Got to find my house as I move into February, because I'm moving into a 6th energy, so I can get back to sorting out my home again. I struggle a bit because of the size, but hey, it is what it is, and I'm building a new relationship with my home. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing, loving, gentle, kind, warm month, and I'll see you in my next video.